I am delighted to be able to welcome amongst us our guest tonight for our final PCA talk of this semester. My guests, Benjamin Clarens and Yann Martin of Cut Architecture. I'm particularly glad actually because I worked with Benjamin a while back, quite a while back now actually, so it's really nice to have an opportunity for our paths to cross again, even if it's just for a very short while. So thank you again for accepting our invitation. Before handing it over to both of you, I thought I could maybe just very briefly introduce you. Both Benjamin and Yann trained as architects here in Paris, correct me if I'm wrong, at Paris Belleville, Paris Malaquais and Paris Seine, and Benjamin for a short while in Delft Technical University, that's right. They both together, well individually, but together actually worked and collaborated with a number of practices, renowned practices here in France, Manuel Gautran, Philippe Gazeau, Louis Payard, LGP, and further afield, FOA, AVAC in Finland, OMA in Rotterdam, the office led by Nicolas. And I believe that both of you also frequently invited into juries and final critiques at the end of the semester. So both by Paris Belleville, Paris American Academy, and the Columbia University here in Paris. So I'm going to pass it over to you, and I'm very pleased again, and thank you. Please join me in welcoming Benjamin and Yann, our first duo of PCA Talk.
All right, so just as a quick reminder, we are architects, but we work on projects that are in very different fields, meaning that we work on buildings, we work on interior design for bar, restaurants, houses, apartments, but we also work on set designs or, let's say, unclassical projects. I got two, sorry, I'm lost. I don't know which one I have to.
Either way.
Okay, I'll try with this one. So what we did is that we did a selection of 6 of our projects that we built so far, and each one of them is part of different fields, so that you can see that's the variety of the subjects you can work with, because we strongly believe that having different interests in those different fields can, in a way, let's say, stimulate other projects and stimulate creativity. What I'll start with is a building. We actually designed a community center for the city of Montreuil in the northeast of Paris. And well, that's the building like it looked like at the beginning when we started working on it. So it looks more like, I don't know, a jail or maybe I don't know what kind of strange building. So it's all of concrete, yellow, painted in yellow, and with grids in front of the windows. But strangely, it is working as the living room for a large amount of people living around, as you can see the buildings. So there are like mostly social housing in the neighborhood. And this living room is hosting dance classes and painting classes as well, and offices to have like private talks with the people living around that are facing different type of problems. The thing is that that building is existing for a long time, and in a way, even though it's not very attractive, it is still a very important place for the neighborhood. So our goal was to, let's say, give a new face to that building, and at the same time to keep what makes that building so specific and so attractive for the people there. So the identity of the building is this kind of, let's say, shape that you have on the top, this block, and it is all painted in yellow, like the middle drawing you can see there on the screen. And what we did is that we redesigned the building in such a way that we could keep that kind of yellow part that would have the same dimensions and same shape, but that we would, in a way, just replace a bit higher. and we turn basically that kind of yellow paint on concrete with a different material. So we imagine a kind of a curtain out of steel that would be perforated in such a way that we could, on one hand, keep and maintain the intimacy for the people inside, since they are dancing and working or having very private talks, and at the same time be a very attractive place that is also in relationship with the neighborhood. That kind of style has not been shown to the municipality and the politics, of course, but it is a very important place for the people. It is part of their identity, and we thought it would be interesting to develop a pattern to the facade, for the facade, that would be very iconic for the place, and that people could feel in their own place, in their own living room there. So, well, this is Louis Vuitton pattern that you can see on the left, and, well, those are tattoos that, in a way, are, can mix in a way. So this is the building. It's just a section, so it shows you that it's just a very flat building, and well, you just have a couple dancing there inside. So it's just showing you. Oh, sorry, I just need to turn that on. Yeah, it is. So basically, it's organized in such a way that you have the main entrance, and you access the main hall here with an office. You have a private office here to have very intimate talks. You have the toilets there, and you have the painting, drawing room here, and then here the dancing room there. And it's all around the building. You can see there are a lot of openings of windows everywhere. So the question was how to keep the intimacy, but at the same time keep the natural light inside. So here are the windows. They're mostly all square, and we added a steel structure to it first, and then we added to that a cladding that would be out of aluminium, anodized golden aluminium, so that the yellow color would be back in a way, but transformed. And we designed the pattern in such a way that we inserted the shape of the building itself within the facade, so that the facade would be perforated. You could see through it from the inside, but not from the outside, and you can have that kind of very specific pattern, specific to the place, to the neighborhood, all around the building. So what you have here is a photo from the outside, a picture from the outside. You have the main entrance here. You can see the existing block out of concrete that has been painted in black. Our idea was that that block could be painted, you know, like people could do graffiti on it, so that it would be a real wall that could be used by people in the neighborhood. And then we have the same shape that works as a hollow of the existing building, that is all realized out of panels of golden aluminium. And you can see here that those larger holes there and there are the shapes of the buildings. So in a way, it's the signature of the place. And as you can see, you can't see from the outside the windows, or at least you can maybe just guess they are there behind the curtain. But they are not like easy to look at or to look through. And you have here the shapes of the building. And those are just detailed pictures of the way we treated the corners of the building in such a way that they are really like panels folded. And you have here again the shape I was talking about before. But from the inside, what you can see is that it is, full of light. You can see outside very easily, and you can just see again the shape there of the building in the panels. Everything inside is used with natural, let's say that, yeah, simple and very clear materials like wood, so oak woods. We kept as much as possible the existing structure out of concrete, and we covered, of course, the larger wall with mirrors so that you could see yourself dancing. Now, Yann.
Well, the second project is a flat that we did over 18 months ago now. Because, yeah, what we didn't say that we started our practice back in, let's say, officially we started the business in 2008, but we started to work together around 2006. We won a competition, student competition for the, I don't know, the garden festival in Chaumont-sur-Loire. We designed a garden there. Of course, it wasn't paid, and then we did other student competitions. We won some of it, and we thought that we could try to establish a practice, which we did, but without any real assignment or assurance of being able to get there. So of course we started with mostly flats. So we're not showing here the former flats, but you can all see them on our website. This one is one of the latest we did, because we don't do flats that much anymore, because we don't have people calling us for that, not that we don't like doing them. It's in the 6th district next to Odeon, and client, it's a couple. The client used to live there when he was a kid. He was raised there, and he inherited the place, and what he asked for is to live there with his family, but not to remember what was his childhood. So we never know. We don't know what happened then, but that was what he was asking for. So that's the existing plan. So we had the entrance here, the hallway, and this was a living room here, and that says study. And here was a bedroom here, toilet. Here was the dining room, kitchen, a bathroom, and another bedroom here. So it was 2 bedroom, 1 study, 1 living room, 1 dining room. What we did, is we thought that if we want to manipulate the place how it was and to make it completely different, maybe we needed to introduce an element that would be a way of making a continuous element, kind of piece of furniture that would work both for 2 spaces. This is the reference image is the construction of the Serpentine Pavilion 2 years ago by So Fujimoto. That's also from him. That's another Japanese designer. I can't remember his name. So we were interested in this idea of a grid that can be put within the space, and that can be used as a space divider, but also as a container, or a path. If you start to erase some of the crossings, then suddenly you can go through the structure. And this other reference is the idea of this, the two-way mirror, and that I will explain why we have this reference image. So that's the same plan, but how we designed the project. So actually, what was when you enter here? They have 2 kids, so we did one aid to be the kids part, and the other one to be for the parents and the family area. So the living room became actually both the bathroom and the kids' playground. So the bathroom, as you can see, doesn't have natural light, but that's where we put the two-way mirror, so that you can get some intimacy within the bathroom, but still get some natural daylight inside, and you can also watch the kids while you're washing your teeth. That's the two bedrooms for the kids, which are rather small, but that's because they have a larger playground here. And here is the living room and the kitchen. As you can see, that's the structure that we inserted in the space. That is both the kitchen, and that continues as a sitting area and library. And then we have like other blocks here for the kitchen that are for the kitchen appliances, the taller ones that couldn't be like inserted within the smaller grid. That's the section of the same piece of furniture. So as you can see, you can either sit or even go through it. So if I go back to the plan, you realize that you can enter it from the sitting area here and go sit behind the kitchen while somebody is cooking. You can have a chat together without coming from the same room. So that's how it looks on the kids' side. You can see the two-way mirror here. That's the structure that we also use, the same kind of structure that we use for the kitchen, and the shelving system is here for the bathroom, for the washing the scenes. That's from the other side, and as you can see, you can almost see through, but not really. And from the inside, you have this dim light, which is actually very pleasant inside. There's only one, you know, the tab lamp here, this small table lamp that gives a nice glow. Of course, there's a bigger lamp and the next to the bathtub, so you can see when you wash. That's the view you get from the bathroom, and in front is the kids' playground. Sorry. And that's the structure within the living room. That's the path you can go through. You see somebody's coming from the kitchen side toward the living area. And it's both a seating device and also shelving system. That's how you see it from the side. That's it empty after construction. And here's the kitchen part. So you remember it used to be both the kitchen and the bathroom. So we just took off the flooring and we put epoxy instead, and the rest is the existing parquet floor that has just been sanded and polished. And here we did also a small trolley that integrates within the structure and that you can use as a mobile table, so you can cook all together around it. And here is the taller units of the kitchen. And we integrated within the gridded system the sink that you can see here, and what is it in English? The stove, cooking plate, cooking table. Here.
All right. Okay. After building in a private apartment, we have a restaurant. Since dinner is going to happen soon, we actually designed 3 restaurants for the same client here in Paris. It's called Paris, New York, PNY. Maybe some of you had dinner there already. It's a burger place, but they actually, well, try to develop high-quality burgers. We started with the first one not far from here, Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis, the second one in Oberkampf, and the last one we realized is in the Aumarais, Rue Perret. What we did is that since it's a story with 3 different restaurants, but still the same client, we were asked to develop let's say a very different type of Paris, New York this time, since it opened in a place that is let's say very trendy and turned well. The clients say it's more feminine area with more feminine clients, and the previous one we did were all like mostly black and white. And he gave an interesting reference, like Miami, and so in a way we had to turn it back to Paris and to New York for a time, and open the windows, open the gates to Miami. And we did a research about we did a research about some typical architectures or things that would in a way reflect the spirit of the place. So like those beach huts with very bright colors and these kind of tubular structures that we found very interesting. Of course, we also ended up with the finish of the flooring along the sea, which is kind of granito. So those couples of marbles inserted within the cement floor. but also the color of the lighting that is very inspiring as well for the architecture, for the facades. So with very bright colors. And also, of course, the patterns, right? So different types of patterns, like the one you have there on the picture, that in a way were very strong inspirations for us to imagine a different place that would be a travel. This one is a render we did, so it's this kind of document we produced during conception for the client. Because we thought it would be interesting to develop different types of seating areas in such a way that the restaurant would not be anymore, a place with a series of tables and seats that you can buy in any shop. So the idea was that the identity of the place would be the seating area itself. So we developed different booths, and those booths are designed out of steel tubular structures that you can see there in pink, in green, and at that time with this kind of yellowish color, and those booths were a way for us to integrate totally the seats and the table and design totally the place in such a way that almost nothing would be furniture that you can buy there or there. Like we did in the previous restaurants for the same client, we thought that the bar and the stairs, like we designed it in the first restaurant, were very strong and important places and elements, because the restaurant I'm showing now is organized on 2 levels, and the very difficult part for a restaurant is to attract people upstairs or downstairs. So we thought it would be important to fully design the stairs in such a way that stairs would be an attraction and people would love to walk through the stairs to go upstairs. So we designed everything out of steel, so from the handrail to the steps, and we added a mesh all around it, and behind that mesh we actually added mirrors in such a way that when you walk to the stairs, you don't really know where you have to go. If you have to go left or right, it's in a way this kind of full mirroring effect there. Everything has been lacquered with a bright green color, and here you have the way it is set in plan. So basically you have the main entrance, you have the facade opening toward the Rue Perret, and the bar, the stairs, and stairs leading upstairs to the first floor. Here are the toilets and the kitchen area, and here 2 of the booths I was talking about before, and few seats and tables there and there. You have here a plan of the top floor. So leading to the top, the stairs lead to a place where booths are totally integrated to the stairs. They are like all mixing together in a big main structure. So 1 booth, 2 booths, and the third one there, just, let's say, inserted within the stairs, and then a couple of other tables. Here we have a section. So you have the stairs there, you have the mesh and the steel structure I was talking about, the mirrors behind it, and then that's just the back of the bar, the access to the kitchen. And those are like 2 of the booths I was talking about before, some suspension, some light suspensions, and there a pattern out of different types of woods that we added to the wall. So it is totally, it's reflecting the reference image I was showing before of the palm tree. I don't know if you say And here, that's a section in the other way, so through the Rue Perret, the bar, stairs leading up to the top floor. And those are pictures of the projects once it's just opened. So you can see here the different elements I was talking about before. We have a granito floor just everywhere here, so those are a couple of marble pieces that are out of different colors mixed with glass as well, so that basically the colors that you have there on the walls or on the structure, you can actually see it on the floor mixed to the white. And we have the booth here, so 2 booths out of steel with this pinky color. And then here the bar and the stairs that are forming like the main attraction to the place, with this same tubular structure out of green here, so using the same color references I was showing before, and the mirrors in the back of the mesh, so that the mirror is blurred in a way, and we integrated the lighting inside, so the neon lighting, even for the logo of PNY attached to the stairs. And here you have the treatment of the walls with the wallpaper and the different pieces of 3 different wood to form this kind of pattern that would spread from ground floor to the first floor. That's the bartender, dressed like he should for that place, and the access to the upper floor. So here are other detailed pictures of the bar, and so you can see basically all the efforts that we put into the detailing of each of the elements we designed. So you can see here that the seats, the booths, are integrating flower pots as well. So the seats and the tables turn into something more than just a seat and a table for a usual restaurant. And suspended over the tables or special lighting that we design as well out of copper tubes. And those lighting bulbs are the one we use in the very first restaurant, so it's in a way just a small reminder. Other detail that we developed, and those are the booths against on the other street, next to the other shop window. And other pictures at night with the neon tubes on and the reflections. The crazy stairs with the reflections everywhere and the colors and the grids mixing, and the detailing of the handrail and the lighting integrated. That's on the top floor. So that's basically the seats just within the stairs, and the 2 other booths on the other side with plants against the grid there. All the pictures, and that's it.
This project is actually office, but not really an office. They're called la Fédération, they're event, how do you say, event office, and because they have different kind of clients, they cannot have a full team with all the team they need in-house, and they realize that they're most of the time using the same people to work with, even if they're not working internally with the company. So they started to search for a space that could be enough space for them. There are about 10 people, and the people they work occasionally with, that would be 10 more people. And what they wanted was then tables to work, but also meeting rooms or meeting spaces, various ones, because then they would have like clients for the Fédération, but also other clients from the people they work with. That was the space. The space is ground floor and basement, and it was that's the existing state. So we enter from here, from the street, small street in the 10th district, and here's the first room, and then 2 other rooms that are not completely separated, because here is just a wall from the pillar toward the facade. And then you have this small staircase that leads downstairs. Oops. Well, I forgot to put the basement plan. But it's basically the same plan that was downstairs, but this partition wall here. And so their fear, or what they couldn't resolve, was, okay, we're 20 people, 2 levels, who will be downstairs, because of course there is some natural light downstairs, but it's still a basement. So the guy from the Federation said, okay, I will be working downstairs, my desk will be downstairs, so they won't feel like it's not that good to be downstairs. And so we started to put desks all around and meeting rooms. And then after different drafts, we thought that maybe we don't need to spread the people everywhere, and maybe we can have no one to be downstairs, and maybe if we break the walls somehow on the ground level, we can organize the people all together around a common table, and then downstairs will be only for the meeting rooms and different kind of meeting rooms. But we thought that if we wanted to have separate spaces downstairs, maybe we don't need to do partition walls like there was, and to have very different rooms, but maybe one main meeting room could be a circular space that would be soundproof, but still people could see through, and the space would feel open and larger. So that what we did downstairs, we have here this circular space that can host a meeting of 12 people. And then, well, that was the first draft. Then we changed the location of the commune table, but they can also eat together downstairs and have informal meetings there. Maybe have private phone calls here in a more soundproof area, or get behind this curtain that divides the space to also have another kind of meeting. So that's the plan of the ground floor. So you see the long table with the lighting system that runs all around. It's LED within a folded steel structure. And here you have the technical gaps with the sockets integrated. And here is downstairs with the meeting room, the dining room, one lounge area. This one, well, there's no furniture in it, but it's mostly like a sofa or really loungy. You can even take a nap there. That's really the idea. And here you can also, of course, have meeting because you have the curtain here that can divide the space. And that's the section, and you can see the long table that looks like it floats within the space, and it's actually there is one extra structural leg here, but otherwise it's like literally put on the existing walls that we cut. That's the lighting, the meeting room, and the dining area. That's the other section. And here how it looks. So you see that we really like open the walls to get the table to go through. And at the end we designed these shelves out of steel sheets bended. That's the integrated light. And what works quite well that we did only cuts within the walls, because of course we could have also break the walls completely, but it allows this long table for 20 people to be still 3 different spaces, so you don't feel like you're really working with 20 people at once, but you have like 8 people around one table at each time, maximum. That's the shelves. And that's the integrated socket. So the budget was very low, so we could use very cheap things since it was not showing. So you see, it's like the cheapest of switch you can get, but since it's within the structure, you don't see it. That's from the other end of the table, and here is the staircase leading downstairs, and that's the meeting room. So the budget didn't allow to have curved glass, but of course you can use straight pieces to make a faceted cycle that really looks like a cycle within the space. That's the nap.
area. That's the kitchen. And yeah, because then again the budget was very low. We managed under 100,000 euros to do all the work within this space.
Now a different subject, a shop that we designed in Tokyo, in Omotesando. Well, it used to be the shop of Stella McCartney that built his own building a few streets next to that place. And we were actually asked to design a concept store for men. So with men's fashion mostly, and also it was a partnership with Shiseido Men, so cosmetics. That place was a bit specific because it was spread over 3 levels, and well, the planning was let's say Japanese one, so we were asked within 3 or 4 months, I think, to conceive and build.
Yeah, January to April.
Yeah, so not possible here. What we knew from their concept is that they want what they would call themselves les shops. So it's a French name for this kind of grocery shop that you can have there in France. And we actually collected pictures, such as that one, so let's say historic pictures. That one was for us very interesting because those kind of shops are based for us on the same principles every time. One of them is that the shop is the storage at the same time. So you store a maximum of elements and goods where you actually sell them. So you're all surrounded with the products, and you have shelving everywhere. So those are details, and you can see the big amount of products that are all stacked on shelves all around the place. What we did is that we did axonometric view, like that one, kind of section / axonometric view, where you can see first the ground floor there, the basement there, sorry, ground floor, level of the street, and then the first floor. Shiseido was installed there on the basement, and all the rest of the collection for men's was on ground floor plus first floor. What we turn in blue on those documents is every time the main principle I'm talking about, so this kind of stacking storage place and the mass amount of shelving was for us one of the key elements of the project. So we actually filled almost all the ground floor with shelving that would go from ground to ceiling, so that you would be totally surrounded by the shelving and the products. And the shelving would actually spread from the floor on the street level up to the ceiling on the first floor level there, so that from the street products and the mass amount of shelving would actually cover the whole facade. So we actually used Clarens shelving system. So this is not our design, but what we did is that we spread it all over the place. And what we found very interesting and very useful for the clients there is that it was extremely flexible, so that you could have and storage that you can hide and storage that you can show and go very high there, with shelving or with different types of supports that could be either flat or either turned like 45 degrees. The other element that we thought was very typical from this kind of groceries is the awning. So what you have here is for us typical from the groceries, and we thought that that element was also something that should absolutely be somewhere else within the place. So what we did is that we developed the awnings in a very different way, not outside to cover products, but inside, so that the awning would actually rebuild some kind of a second roof inside the place on the first floor, and would actually cover the walls as well. So we developed different different layers, since we have 2 different layers of awnings, so of textile, and we covered the entire roof, the entire ceiling of the first floor with it, and this would allow us to actually display the products in very different manners with different colors in the place, and we use the same kind of detail as well in the fitting room there on ground floor. So what you can see here is actually the way it is organized, so the way we designed it. So those are the fitting rooms I was just talking about. Those are other references of this kind of dense structure that in a way were giving us ideas for our own project, and that's the way the ceiling and the walls of the first floor has been designed. So we have 2 different layers. We have a kind of let's say a blue layer, and we have a beige layer. So the beige layer is they are just next to each other, and the shape of it can be modulated in such a way that you can see either the blue or see the beige color more or less. And we added to that tools, and the tools are those sticks. So those are like wooden sticks and mixed with steel elements that were a way for us to hang the products or display them horizontally or a little bit inclined. So in a way, the awning was turned into a very iconic element through the space that would allow us to display the products on the top floor. And the very last element that is for us very typical from groceries is the fact that we stack elements on top of each other. And we thought that the stacking would be an interesting element that we could find again, and maybe face also to natural landscapes like those one. Since Shiseido developed a campaign, a communication campaign around Iceland landscapes with this kind of very interesting colors, blue colors of stones. And we imagined an element downstairs that would be composed of stacked elements, and that would serve as podiums for products. In a way, it was for us a podium for the key product from Shiseido. So what we did is that we reused here cement tiles, like the typical Parisian cement tiles that you can see in a lot of shops here in Paris, but we imagined to stack them so that we would build our own landscape for Shiseido downstairs. So each of those elements are tiles. So at the beginning we imagined that we would literally stack the tiles till we realized that it was like tons of tiles that we'd have to travel from Paris to Japan. So the problem was maybe more the European travel constraints than the Japanese reactivity. But those are basically steel elements that are like surrounding, they follow the same shape as the tiles, and we have tiles with different finishes on top of each other, so that we build our own landscape with different finishes. So what we also work with is that we work with two different let's say finishes. On one hand, we had to do this kind of very let's say natural and typical French finishes, so you could feel that time passed, but at the same time we wanted to have something very sleek and contemporary. And we reimagined this kind of structure that could travel from one place to the other in the shop. So this kind of structure that you had before in front of the shops, and well, this kind of reinterpretation of a typical bicycle. But those structures would actually be located upstairs on first floor, and as well as outside actually, that we added during construction. And those structures are a combination of different elements. We have the same steel and wooden structure as we can have on the sticks on the first floor, the design of the wall with the awning. And we covered it with the oak elements, so oak plates for the tables. And we added laser handles to it, and real wheels, bicycle wheels to the table, so that you could actually shift them and move them through the space, and even add an awning to it. So that's the one we actually we placed outside in front of the shop. So that's the ground floor plan. So it almost looks like a labyrinth. So like actually like a typical grocery here in France. So you enter, you have the shelving that is covering the whole facade. You have here the cashier here, and you can turn around it, and you have shelving with products all around the place. So in a way you have to look for the elements you're interested in. And then you have the fitting rooms there in the back, and then the stairs leading upstairs there, or from there leading downstairs to the basement. So that's the top floor plan. The awning, so you can see that the elements against the wall could either be straight against the wall or a little bit inclined in such a way that the geometry of the room would change. You have the trolleys that you have there, and then a big table and fitting rooms again. And that's downstairs, so that's the basement. And we have here, well, this is just for the staff. We have the stairs leading here to the basement, fitting room again, or tiles, landscape here, and some extra shelving that we designed so that you could display very different products. So that's the view from the outside with the trolley. You can see the shelving covering the whole facade there. The trolley, again here. The dithering shelving that you face when you enter the place. The cement tiles on the floor. So that's the cashier area where they actually can prepare and put in the bag what you just put there. A view from the stairs leading up, so you can see that products are literally like invading the place from floor to ceiling. The design of the stairs out of white aluminum lacquered, and we actually kept the wooden stairs placed there. Also view leading up. So we have here the awning I was talking about before, with the blue in the back that you can see here. This kind of beige, well, grey beige awning there, and with the different wooden sticks here, and you could really adjust the geometry of it. So we have here the hangers, and as you can see here, it's inclined, straight, and then again it turns into some kind of a small table where you can actually display products, laid products, and the trolleys, and again the deterrents in the facade. The trolleys here again. So you can see here the rolling system, so that if you want, you can actually have only the blue visible, or the opposite. Other pictures. So details of the awning is the wooden sticks and the steel, the white lacquered steel elements, and the two different finishes for the awnings. The stairs leading downstairs to the basement, and the basement with this deep blue epoxy floor, well, a clear reference to the Shiseido campaign in the Icelandic landscapes. And we actually developed a simple curtain to isolate the staff area from the Shiseido space. And the curtain turns from deep blue to silver finish. And we have here the shelving that is extremely flexible because you can actually take off each of the shelving, add hangers, well, you can almost do whatever you want with it if you want to display either cosmetics or, well, larger products. And we have here the landscape I was talking about before with the cement tiles stacked and the products on it standing on the bottom. So with the different finishes. All the pictures of the detail of the shelving, and as you can see, well, shelving be removed so that you could hang shirts, because Shiseido was renting the place for a time, and well, the client wanted the place to be flexible so that he could actually transform it into a different type of space to sell different products. And that's well, a nice view from the outside. And the
last project is it's called the Syndicate. It's a cocktail bar. It's not far from here. It's Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis. It opened over a year ago now. Yeah, a year and a half already. So the place was Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis has been changing dramatically during recent years. The first project we did, the first restaurant we did was this Paris, New York, that was in the same street. At the time they were like the first one almost to come and try with a different kind of restaurant in a street that was mixing food shops and cell phone shops and weird shops as well. And but the street has been for many years a super vivid area and super nice neighborhood because there are like a lot of passages and the Rue Paradis and everything. So it's been booming for years, but there was no proper, let's say, bar on this street that wouldn't be just a cafe or a bar that you can go and have lots of beers. So they decided to settle there with a cocktail bar. That's how it looked when we arrived, and so that's the area. That's how it feels, but it has this energy, which is super nice. So what we did is, okay, you want to make cocktails, quite luxurious. They only use French spirits, so it's not cheap cocktails. And they have the knowledge, they do amazing cocktails, but you're set in this area, you want to play R&B music, so let's do a project that merges everything that you are. So we sourced images of cocktail utensils, that is golden copper, no, that's golden, most of it. Tools here, that's MIA in a golden suit. And that's a woman with golden teeth, because yeah, gold is all that page. It's either luxury or it can be quite tacky, but it's what the area is. So we wanted to have the brutality of the area and to have something quite raw, but of course we had acoustic issues here because it's a cocktail bar and they wanted to have loud music. So we couldn't say, like we say most of the time, because it looks good, and let's keep the walls bare because we don't need to cover it with another layer of finish. It looks good like that. So we needed this acoustic treatment, but why not keep the plasterboards unpainted to have it raw, and it will be less costly because we almost all the time have some financial issues with our projects, but that was the concept, that was part of the concept.
And for instance, this is not some parking garage somewhere in suburb, but it was the pop-up of Céline, the luxury brand, Rue François 1er. And they did that a year ago, 2 years ago now, and they had this space that was under renovation, and they put a pop-up in it, so it looked like that. It can be also a luxury shop. But then also you have here it's a confetti system close up, the golden drape that is also kind of cool. Another aspect we liked with the cocktail bar is not to have the bar that the barman is standing, and then there is this recess, and you're at the bar like this, and the barman is preparing the drink here. We like the idea of the poker table or the casino table, that is this wide flat surface that people are sitting around and everything is at the same level. And we found some pictures from older times where we found that at the time there was not like 2 levels of the bar, and we thought it was really good to make the show, because of course that's part of a cocktail bar, to make a show with the cocktails. We also took some reference pictures, of course, of the patterns that you can find in cocktail glasses or in more like common cocktail bars, combined with something more aesthetically, let's say, not brutal, but common. That's the pegboard from your dad's garage, but combined with also a nice Carrara marble. What we did, because also we had in mind the speakeasies all the time, but we didn't want to make another speakeasy because there's already immersed speakeasy in Paris and hidden bars. So we thought that we are not hiding the space. It's on ground level, it's on the street level. But what we do is that we insert curtain rods that circulate all the way around the space, creating inner spaces that you can either open or close, but then you can have like this one room, the second room in the back, and the main room here. That also had some acoustic value for the interior, not for the neighbors, but so that even if there are many people, it's not uber noisy. And so we put the bar itself here, and you will see it's one surface, as I was saying. So that's where you have your drink here. That's the marble part, and all this is in stainless steel, but it's the same level. And you have like tables here, and in the back another room with a sofa and the toilets. Here you see in section, so you can see the curtains dividing the room, but also in the back of the bar itself, we have a pegboard wall with garage shelving. That's where they have all the spirits and the glasses stored. That's the other section, so you enter from this side, and as you can see, the tables here, the bar that is one flat surface, the pegboard that turns also on this wall, and here you see that that's the marble part, and what we wanted is to have something that is rough but controlled, and so the top surface is super smooth, but and underneath it's like a topographic element. So we 3D modeled the shape, and then it was with a CNC. The marble was drilled so that we have the shape here, like a controlled topography that is underneath. And the bar itself is covered with mirror, so it reflects the topography and the rest of the room, because the bar is quite small. It's altogether 48 square meters, and still I don't know how many people they serve each night, but a lot. And I forgot about the pattern where we developed in cork stools and also this ceiling element that is again good for the acoustics, but also very good looking element when you put light on it. We use this kind of you know, this lights that you can adjust the beam, let's say, and you can also frame it. So here it's to put light on the cork tiles, but here, for instance, it's framed so that it's only the marble that is lit, and the rest is in the dark, making it more dramatic all over the pegboard. And let's focus on the stools and the stool again. And that's the ceiling. And that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a thoughtful and thorough presentation. Maybe some of you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding the apartment.
Yeah.
What kind of glass was it? So that means that when you enter in the hallway, you couldn't see inside, right?
Yeah, but well, you know, it's the same glass you have in the precincts when you have you know, when you have people like that are interrogated, and then you have the witness that is behind, and they cannot see you. You can see them.
What is it called?
It's in French. It's glace Santin,
Oh.
and it's two-way mirror, I think, in English. But the thing is that it's tricky with the light, because if you turn on the light inside, then people see you from the other side. So it's not that. Well, but of course it was a family, so it was not a problem. But yeah, but it's not really like But then if you have money, you have the what is called Priva light. Saint-Gobain developed that. It's, you know, you have a switch and the glass turns from opaque to transparent. But it's, well, 2,500 euros per square meter.
I have a question. I've been wondering, I mean, you clearly work well as a team with your other collaborators, but also you're a couple, a duo. And how does that work? What kind of balance do you find? Can you say that one of you is the hand, the other's the brain, or you know, how do you feel that dynamic works?
I think we developed each project together. I think it never happened that we designed a project like separately, except for my own apartment, but it was a difficult time. So yeah, no, the thing is that we work like this for 10 years now, so it's a way for us also to confirm that the choices we are doing are the right one. It's yeah, I think once we are both sure of the choices we do, well, we think it's a good solution. So every time we conceive things together, but we have also people in the office working with us. So it's well, let's say we don't draw anymore. I think we don't draw anymore. So, but we check things every time, and we discuss things every time. So that's the only way we can make sure the project. Yeah, every time.
Yeah, I think we challenge each other, but mostly we challenge the subject, because we try always to take a new angle from the subject, and not to try to kind of ban interest from the office. That's not how we don't want to source project that would be like reference pictures for exactly what we're doing. But as you saw, like some of the reference pictures are really taken from really out of the field and out of scope even. But for us, it's super important to try some new elements within the project, and to try something new. We hope new. So that's how we work.
Any questions?
I have a question. Well, first of all, I'm actually a really big fan of your work. I'm really happy that you come and speak to us. question about a project we didn't speak about tonight, but it's about Paris, New York, the first one on Phyllis and you.
Yeah.
How did that theme of it's a very sort of cinematic theme, how did that come about? And then you changed so rapidly to this Miami theme.
Well, the first one was the brand was not even born, of course, when they came to us, and they decided they would be called Paris, New York, because of course they would have the best of the French meat together with an American burger. So we did the same as we do. We had these reference pictures of New York, this reference pictures of Paris, and then what is Paris that is not on the postcards, what is New York that is not on the postcard. And together we put these elements together, and of course for New York we had Broadway and the lights of Broadway, and because the cantilevered part that is in front, the canopy was there already, because it's forbidden today, we couldn't build it, it would be refused by the city, but when it's there you can use it. So of course it had this Broadway feeling of the cinemas. So that's how we came with the light bulbs, but we didn't want to use like normal light bulbs, and we saw this the same that you saw in the third one, the one in the red. It's these bulbs that are used for the carousels. You know, on the ceilings of carousels you always have the bulbs. So it's actually, it used to be glass, but nowadays it's plastic, and it has this faceted surface. And then we took from Paris the 7 tiles flooring, which is now everywhere, but back in 2011 it was not that established everywhere. And then we took from also America the aluminium of the trailers, you know, the Airstream trailers. And that's why, well, we don't have images here, but if you go there, you see that the pops, that's not pops, but the rivets that we used, that's the one with the round heads, like in the Airstreams. We don't want to have the one with the hole, so it's like very quiet, but for us it's that, and also the structure of the staircase is referencing the Statue of Liberty, actually, because it's like this structure, and then it's called clad it with the aluminium. But that's yeah. So that's ways of merging the two references, the references of the two cities, but not with something that would be super obvious. And then we continued with cinema in a way, because they wanted to have like projections. On the first floor you have projections in the one for Saint-Denis, and then in the one we did to Oberkampf, we had this room in the back that is quite tiny, it can sit 8 people, but we decided to make it like completely soundproof with this acoustic material that blocks the sound, and it's also for projecting movies. And even the floor we use this, you know, the one between Ronald McDonald playgrounds, this soft ground, so we poured that in this tiny space. But then in the third one, well, they wanted to shift to Miami, so of course we followed them. But we kept some elements like the bulbs that you saw, and also what did we have?
I think yes, it's the monument of the stair.
Yeah, the idea of this stair that is like one element connected with the bar, and that makes the main element of the place. And it's the same in Oberkampf. You have this bar that you go through, actually.
Yeah, we try to build stories around the project and the subjects we are facing. So we avoid, and I mean, it never happens that we do choices about materials just like this because we love it. I mean, it has to make sense regarding, yeah. Yeah, sometimes we lie, sometimes. No, but yeah, the thing is that we don't act as decorators, you know, like saying it's yellow because I like the yellow, or it's really, we think each project has a story. It can be the apartment of someone, it can be a bar, it can be a restaurant, it can be a building, and we work with that. And it's a way to nourish our choices and then come up with choices that are obvious for us. And then we can build a story, explain it to anybody, and it's clear for everyone that this building has to be gold, of course, because it used to be yellow, and that's the identity of the place. But we have to turn it into something else. So that's always like this work.
Yeah, you can tell that you're really inspired and motivated by each project to tell the story. Thank you for sharing your stories with us.
You're welcome.
this
Thank you
evening.
for having us.
And,
We've been long.
yeah. No, it's perfect, and you can read it further, but maybe you drink having finished on a bar. So thank you very much.